am going to find, I think that if you take the representations as true in this case, as tragic as they are, it does show that Ms. Ortiz's judgment endangers not only her children, but members of the community. However, I don't find that the state has met its burden, that there are no conditions that the court can set to ensure the safety of the community. And so I'm going to deny the motion and set strict conditions forthwith. And they are that I'm going to release you to the third-party custody of pretrial services. I want our pretrial services folks to investigate your living arrangements and where you're going to be to make sure that they're appropriate. And I'm going to put you on the highest level of supervision that we can possibly put you on, and that's PML level 4, which will require, of course, that you are prohibited from possessing or using illicit substances, alcohol, of course, and that you submit to testing on a regular basis as required to make sure that you're complying with it. There will be a zero tolerance edict set out for you. So if there is any violation of the conditions of the court has set, then you'll have to answer to the court for that. In addition to the PML level 4, I'm going to require that there be a GPS monitor placed on you so that we know your movements. And you'll be required to make sure that you keep it charged as according to the instructions that you'll receive once it's placed on your person. And I'm going to require, and I'm putting the GPS on you for several reasons, but I'm also going to set a curfew for you of 5 o'clock each evening. You're to be at the location of the residence where you're staying, and you're not to be away from that location before 9 o'clock any given morning of any week, 7 days a week until the order is modified. The reason why I'm giving the window, of course, is to make sure that you are able to attend any treatment or counseling that will be made available to you. What the court cannot do pre-trial. Listen to me, Ms. Ortiz. Ms. Ortiz, you need to listen to me. So I'm going to require, of course, that you attend any treatment or counseling that is at least recommended. The court cannot force you to go to counseling or treatment pre-trial, but certainly can strongly suggest that that be part of the makeup. And I think that as Mr. Pines has represented, the LLPD's social worker who's also on will provide an option as well as the Barrett House of things that you can participate in. But those are the only things that you can participate in while you're out. Otherwise, you need to be at the residence. And you'll also need to report the pretrial services as they're required to make sure that you're testing and compliant with the court's prohibition from possession or use of alcoholic beverages or illicit substances or any prescription medications that are not yours, provided to you by a licensed medical provider for a medical condition. In addition, I'm going to require, it sounds to me like you are not going to have physical custody of your surviving child, that custody will be in the child's father. I'm going to require throughout the course of this until we go further that you not have physical custody of this child going forward until the court orders otherwise. That's not to say that you can't have some supervised contact with this child, but you cannot have physical control or custody of this child pending the outcome of this case, given the gravity of why we're here. You are to remain in Bernalillo County. You're not to leave the county for at this point, any reason. There is no reason until and unless you get the court's consent to do so for a valid purpose. You are to maintain contact with your counsel. Mr. Pines, you're going to be representing her throughout this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're to maintain weekly contact with Mr. Pines. If you have any questions about what we're doing or need to get back before the court to have any clarity or information provided about where we're going and where this case is headed, use your counsel, and your counsel, if he needs to get you back before the court, we'll certainly file the appropriate request to do so. So I think those conditions should suffice. And again, I'm putting a zero tolerance tag on it, Mr. Hernandez. So you won't be released until pretrial services takes you into their basically their custody, not necessarily their physical custody, but explores the housing opportunities and where you'll be, so that we can make sure that all of those things are in place before you can be released back into the community under these strict conditions. Do you understand all of that? I need to hear.
Yes.
Yes. And Mr. Estrada, understand that this is over the state's objection, but there are other conditions that you think that would be in store under the circumstances?
No additional conditions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Pines, how about from your perspective?
No, Your Honor. And to clarify, the court's order was a curfew of 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. and not to leave the residence otherwise except for treatment or counseling.
Right. No, it's not that. It's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. And that is for the purpose, but I'm going to modify it a little bit. It's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's she's to remain at the residence Saturdays and Sundays. There's no reason for her to be leaving that residence any Saturday and any Sunday of each week. Monday through Friday, purpose is to either attend counseling and or treatment and to report to pretrial services as required for testing and otherwise. Outside of that, she's to remain at the residence. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Pines?
No, we appreciate the court's time.
Get the Oscar to me, please, for my signature. Make sure that you get it to Ms. Estrada for her review as well, and then we'll go forward. I'll draft the order in this case and get it out as quickly as I can. Anything further?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Pines, anything else?
No, thank you. Have a nice day.
And Ms. Ortiz, I expect full compliance. You understand? You understand? Yes?
Yes.
All right. We'll be in recess. Thank you.